always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Hello and welcome to my Minority Matter. Let's turn on the cameras. My name is Rick, and yes, another beautiful evening here over at the studios of my Minority Matter. Hope everyone had a great day. I had a pretty good day today. Pretty busy. I was running around, had to do an oil change and, take care of some of my errands. And I got it accomplished. I got it all done and excited. I'm always excited when I get things accomplished. But I was tired today. I got really, really fatigued. But other than that, I hope everyone had a great day today. Going to be talking about different things that is going on with the media. All these medias, look, all these companies, look all over the place. They're everywhere. I couldn't even fit like everything on here. I mean, this corner over here, up in the corner, you can't even see it because it's out of the screen. But that's Fox News is hidden back there. USA Today is right there. ESPN is right here where my fingers are and where my hand is. And got Los Angeles Times, Bloomberg down here. Yeah. CNN is back over here. All of the Crazy People's channel. That's why I call it the Crazy People channel, because it is. It's the Crazy Network. We're gonna take a peek at a music video today. Jason Aldean is his name. Jason Aldean. It's a country singer from Georgia. And he had his song pretty much blacklisted. They came down on him so hard. Um, they were calling him a racist. They were calling him a like everything under the sun, and they're trying to cancel him. And if you have not seen the video, I don't know the reason why they're trying to cancel him. It just doesn't. There's nothing racism about it. There's nothing like vulgar about it. It's things that actually really happened that he's pointing out, and yet they're calling him a racist, a bigot, everything under the sun, and the kitchen sink. And and there's nothing wrong with the song. There's really nothing wrong with the song. I'm gonna play that video, the music video. When I get a little bit more people in here, we'll go through it and we'll talk about it. It just doesn't make any sense. The media is doing it again. All the media, all these people here that you see behind me, all of them are corrupted. They're corrupted. They have fucking issues. It's one-sided. If you don't think like a Democrat, then you're against all these companies. And I'm not gonna let media come and try to control me. I'm not a big fan of social media. Not at all. I mean, I do the YouTube and I dabble in a little bit on Discord. That's it. That's the extent of what I dabble in with social media. I don't get into it. I'm not in Facebook. Like, I have an account in Facebook, but I haven't been in there. I don't know how long it's been since I've been in there. It's been years and years and years and years and years and years and years. And yeah, I don't do the tweeting with Twitter. I don't there's certain things that just tells me no, don't do it. TikTok is another one that's a bunch of red flags that comes to me. I mean, I could have been making a lot of money off of TikTok. I have 2 cats, and trust me, I would have been in the money with my cats because my cats are adorable. They do little tricks. They're very smart. Like, I would have been banging out money off of TikTok, but why am I going to exploit my pets? My pets are for me. It's for my comfort. It's for my mental health. They bring me a lot of happiness, and I shouldn't be exploiting them, and that's how I see it. Yeah. But a lot of people do, and they take advantage and they want the money. And I, for one, is not about that. I'm not about that lifestyle. I'm not about money. Always have to look, money comes and goes. From what I've learned, I learned as a young kid, because and since we're in July, let's talk about 4th of July. I remember my father one time told me, he's like, Rick, fireworks, that's just burning your money for a few seconds of pleasure. What are you going to do with the rest of your time? What a fucking question. Yo, as a little kid, I was about 6 years old when he told me this. And I still remember. He always told me, don't burn your money. Don't waste your money on stupidity. Fireworks is only there for a moment, and your money will go in a flash. And I kept that to heart, man. As an adult now, I take that information to heart. And it's true, because So many people waste so much money on fireworks and on stupidity things, and they could save that money and do other things with it that would be more meaningful, like maybe putting food on your plate, maybe paying off a bill. It's I don't know. I guess America's money managing is horrible. As you can see, the country's in debt. We're trillions and trillions and trillions of debt that we have. They're not coming back from. We're not gonna ever. I don't think we'll ever break even. I mean, it's to the point that they're gonna start using a new currency, a new world currency for trade. I think it's coming. It might be next month. There's gonna be a new world currency, and the U.S. dollar is gonna tank. It's not gonna be good, and I hope people are prepared for this because there's too many people distracted and not really paying attention to what's really going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes, and people need to wake up and start focusing. I'm gonna, since I don't have nobody here, I'm gonna play this video, and we're gonna see who comes through. But as far as coming through, for those that are watching and rewatching, you guys can leave me a comment on the channel and let me know what you think about the music video. And I'll get to your comments. This is just a crazy video. It's there's nothing bad about it, and yet the media is just gone crazy and bashing the hell out of this video. And the name of the video is "Try That in a Small Town." Try that in a small town. So let's go ahead and play that for a bit. I'll play it for about a minute and I'll stop it. I need a lighter.
Sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk, carjacking old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think it's tough. Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in.
Now you see the images. They're what the base of the song is. Try this crazy shit that you're doing in big cities, liberal cities. Around the world, but take this craziness to a small town and you're gonna see what's gonna happen. Nobody's gonna pay attention to you. People are fucking tired. They work their ass all day in the farm. They bust their ass all fucking day to come home and try to deal with your bullshit. They don't want to deal with your bullshit. They already have enough bullshit on their plate. So let's continue with the song.
In a small town. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck. Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't.
Now they just show images of these delinquents. Look at this. Breaking into jewelry store, stealing. Like, this is what makes it racism. I'm just trying to clarify the racist parts. Like, this is racism. So someone committing a crime, right? And they're breaking into the jewelry store here, the jewelry case, to steal, and you putting it in a music video of an actual crime that happened makes it racist. How is this racist? I'm don't get it. I don't get it. Let's continue.
And it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town full of good old boys, raised up right. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town. Try that in a small town. Round here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. Try that in a small town. Try that in a small town.
Okay, how in the hell is this song racist? Hey Dominic, how you doing? Woo! I see a lot of crime. I saw a lot of crime. I saw a lot of like unrest people like destroying things, breaking into properties, punching old lady in the face. Like there was a lot of like violence that was done and put on video so people could see what, you know. Try this shit on a small town and you see how far you're gonna go. Dominic, what's up? How you doing? And let me tell you something. He actually is here in concert. Jason Aldean, he's gonna be here in Hartford, Connecticut, July 30th. I'm gonna see if I could. I'm gonna try because I don't know what day that's on. Let me go ahead and stop this here. I don't know what that's Sunday. That's this Sunday. Wait, no. Wait, July 30th is this Sunday? Okay. And that's at the Xfinity Theater. I want to know what tickets they have. I'm curious. Okay. Well, I want to see what they have. What's available. Oh, it's not too bad. 260. But I don't want to sit too close. Oh, $60? $60? Oh, I could do that in the 600 area. Verify resale. They're not bad. The prices of his concert, and it's here in Hartford. I live 20 minutes from Hartford. I'm gonna look into it. Maybe I could. What time it starts? At 7:30. 7:30. Huh. And it's an outside event. I gotta check the weather, make sure the weather's good. I think I might go to it. I might go to the concert. Let me go ahead and put out the link. Let me share the link. Give me a second. Just cancel that. I'm gonna put it out the link. We're gonna play this song one more time in its entirety. Let's go ahead and push that in. And Dominic, if you want to come on through, you can come on through and we could talk about the craziness with multimedia, all the medias, the giants here behind me, and how they're starting to start up with their crazy shit again, like they did in 2020. They're doing it again now for the 2024 elections. They're starting early in 2023, and it's gonna be a dirty fight all the way until 2024. Let me see. Yeah, they used the racist. Like, I didn't see there was nothing racist about it at all. You know, I love music and I listen to music. The thing is, I love music that I could understand the words and I understand what you're saying. But then you have another girl, right? She's a rapper and she's like, yeah, lick my brown hoe and play with my brown hoe and do this to my tatas and squeeze them like this. And that's supposed to be great music for our youth to watch and listen. But then you have this individual from a small town telling you, try this in a small town, and yet he's a racist, he's a bigot, he's a Trump lover, he's sick, he's a sick man. All media is having a meltdown. You should have seen freaking Whoopi Goldberg almost had a fucking heart attack because talking about this guy. Like, he did not do nothing wrong. Anyhow, and bring in Dominic. Yo, what's up, brother?
Hi, Rick.
Yeah, bring in Albie too. Yo, Albie.
Hi, Albie.
What's up? What are we doing, Dominic?
Pretty good, Albie. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Have you seen the video of try that in a small town?
Just now.
Just now? I'm gonna play it one more time without stopping it, and you guys could really take it in, and then let me know what was so disturbing and so racist that we had to cancel the whole show. Pretty much cancel the whole program because it's racist. So let's go ahead and bring it back, and we're going to start it now. I put up my hands because I'm ready to go to the concert. I need my lighters, and I'm gonna be just like this.
Sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk, carjacking old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. That my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town full of good old boys, raised up right. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town. Try that in a small town. Around here we take care of our Try that in a small town. Try that in a small town. Try that in a small town.
Such a fucking beautiful song. How is that racist?
I don't see nothing racist at all. He's just talking about the problems that people go through on a daily basis, and there's nothing he's advocating for people to go out and do wrong. He just make a song expressing how he feels about the world he's in.
Should I celebrate my 400 video by going to this concert? Because he's going to be here in 6 days. The concert's in 6 days. I can still get tickets to it. And they're not going to be like the best tickets, I guess. But I still get good tickets where I could be there and participate in the concert. I'm thinking about it really hard. You know, it's something that I may go alone to watch it. You know, and let's see. We'll see. I'm gonna look into it after I do the show. See if I just put it in my credit card and just go and watch the show. I'm gonna grab me a big ass American flag and I'm just gonna wrap myself around it. And I need a cowboy hat because I don't have any cowboy hats. I need to get me a little cowboy hat. I think I know where I could get a cowboy hat. And boots. I don't know if I could walk in boots. Boots are cool. I don't know if any of you have ever worn cowboy boots. I did when I was little. I did when I was little. I had the little I forgot what it's called in the back. It's kind of like a spool where it's metal, and every time you take a step, it kind of like turns. It was freaking cool.
I remember wearing cowboy. I remember my dad bought me some cowboy boots a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, man, they were awesome. I love my boots. I really did. They were very comfortable. I don't know if I can wear cowboy boots now, but I'm sure they're very comfortable. And I want to go to this concert. So let's see who make this happen. Hey, Dom. So what do you like to talk about? Because I know you have something.
Well, did you want to talk about what do you think of this?
Yeah, we could talk about this, or we could talk about what's behind me.
Well, it's probably very similar. Like, take out the word racist.
Well, that's the magic word.
Well,
Everybody has to freak out.
But if well, take it out. Now, think about what they did to Madonna with the burning cross and Sinead O'Connor when she attacked the Vatican. Who's actually attacking this singer? That's what we have to find out. Who's attacking him? It's the media. It's the media.
I remember the Sinead O'Connor when she did that.
That's right. When you start playing, go ahead.
That was in. I think that was in. Wasn't that concert in Toronto or somewhere? It was in Canada.
It could be, but it was the song that she was being attacked for and who she was singing against. See, Madonna burning the cross. It was the Vatican. So now in this particular case, here's a country singer that's probably under a contract, and he's probably fucking it. So now the media that are paid professionals are probably saying, this is what we're going to tell the people the problem is. But what's really going on, either A, he's on the club, or B, because a lot of country singers, like a lot of other singers, their songs are orchestrated. So now he's burning things. Now, I know the message could be, don't do this in a small town. Well, first of all, he doesn't make his money fucking selling to small towns.
No,
so
he's saying you can't, don't, like the same what they were doing in these.
Yes, I get it.
The riots.
Yep.
Like take that energy and those people and bring them to a small town where the small towns, everything's pretty closed. They're closed by like 6 o'clock. People are at home with their families. They're educating their children. They're teaching their children, reading to their children, spending quality time with their children.
Once again, who's attacking him? They're not concerned about the simple folks that live in the city.
Oh, here in the states, they're going after him. Oh, he's
but who? But who?
By media, by
and who runs media?
All medias.
No, it's run by big corporations.
Mm-hmm.
And big corporations also run police academies and military. So now when he sings a song, like I said, this is a possibility. Either A, this is typical, a lot of industries do this. They do marketing schemes and then they pull it out just before their tour. Or he basically stepped over line and his marketing people says, pull that fucking thing down because you're never going to have a career ever again. See,
no, it's not that. He's friends with Trump. He's good friends with Trump.
Like I said, I'm talking about
and that's the reason why they're attacking him. This is going up to the White House. I know a lot of people don't follow what I follow, but I listen to the daily readings that comes where this black crazy lady doesn't even answer any questions, and they asked her about this song, and she took it like it was a racist, and it was just horrible. And
okay, you're going with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a small puppet in the equation here.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They're attacking him because he's close to Donald.
Okay, that may be true, and that could even be the opposite party. But behind parties, Democrats and Republican, are big fucking corporations that are big families. They like to play with the small middle families like the Musks and the Bill Gates and all that kind of stuff. So now these are just middle management that you're talking about when you talk about the White House. Most of those people that are secretaries, they're Zionists. They run the show. So now a guy like Donald Trump, he's just there. When he was with Meg McMahon, a high Mason, they're pumping him up. Said, listen, you're going to be a bitch. Shut the fuck up, Mr. Trump. I don't care if it's Biden or all this. So for this guy to sing this song, unless they're planning on some sort of civil unrest, this is like when they did Black Lives Matter and Soros behind it. So
they did it before. They've done it before.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's either there's a lot of possibilities here, Rick, but I think they're going to use racism as an excuse.
Yeah, and there was nothing racist about it.
Well, but that's the thing. If people are looking for something that's not even there, I'm telling you to rob a bank over there, but meanwhile, we're doing this other bank. That's a distraction. That is actually what it means by a distraction. So when they were doing Donald Trump and impeachment, when no history's ever shown that's ever gone through, they were passing laws behind all of that because the citizens need a distraction. He's nobody. He's not a political spokesman. Or he just sung a song. There's a little firing, all that. I'm pretty sure he's in an industry where a lot of people had to see that video before he even got on the TV. So
it's gone on. Yeah, it's gone on. It's just here in the United States, we're having a little battle with racism again. Okay,
because that's being stirred up. I don't know if you understand this, but in the old military in Rome, what they used to do, they used to get their captains to go around in the cities and stir up the public and their citizens, their peasants. They did it orchestrated. These aren't organic disturbances in America. These are orchestrated. So when you're talking about earlier about rap, a lot of those songs are orchestrated. As long as you know how to sing, they're going to tell you the songs to sing and what to wear. If we don't tell you to wear a dress, we're going to ask you, like in rock and roll, we're going to ask you to wear tights. This is the industry that they're in. That's why they do spiritual cooking and all that kind of stuff. Because they'll ask them, do you want to be rich or do you want to be rich and famous? Yes, this is what we're going to make you do. That's the entities that do that stuff. Now, it's just
the handlers.
Yeah, well, basically handlers. You got it, Rick. So either A, he's done something off script, and if he has, he's fucked. Or he's actually on the team playing the side, and then they're going to pull it out, do a little disturbance, and people can say, oh my God, it was all about racism. There's nothing that shows that about racism. Everything else, they're showing violence. And even that is probably even worse than racism because you're showing what? Regurgitate. Now, I know a lot of documentaries do all that stuff, but they have to get the checks correctly with everybody else. Okay, am I allowed to put this on? It's like us. If all of a sudden you start doing certain things, you're going to get something from YouTube. And they're going to say, no, you can't do that. These are our laws. You can still do it, but there's going to be a punishment. Usually it's a financial punishment, unless they're going to start doing, like even today in America or in Canada, when they say freedom of speech, because before they could just beat the crap out of you. Now you can just talk all you want, but nothing's going to get done. So what's the use of having freedom of speech if there's nothing that's going to come from it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the illusion that we have. Now, I'm guessing here, but I think when they said the media, because remember, this is the media. And then when the media decides to say, listen, this is the script that we're going to give, and then everybody in every state are saying the same thing. So you already know that's orchestrated.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're ganging him, unless this is, like I said, staged.
And I think it is.
And that's a different game now. If it's staged, then he's showing that he's somebody's bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So him talking about a small town, no, why? If the military or whatever wanted to, they could destroy every little town in America. That's not a biggie. At least in the major cities, you're going to get a little bit of a pushback. But even then, when you do a protest, you still got to go to the city and get a permit. You got to make sure you have the police officers there. Like, that's not an organic protest. But hey, I get it. People are going to spend more time on what they want to hear. It's racism. Well, last time I remember, it's a human race issue here. But
yeah, man, it's just even Kamala Harris. She just went crazy in Florida with racism, and I'm like, I lived in Florida I went to the schooling. I graduated high school in Florida, South Florida. And if I was to bring myself back to the time of being in high school and then having to listen to Kamala Harris speak about racism, I think I would punch myself in the face. And the reason why is because we already studied this. We already know this. The books are pretty good in Florida, but then she's trying to say that the books are teaching a certain way and that it's offensive, and she doesn't even know. But the people that wrote the books, right? They're doctors, and not only that, they're doctors. They're literature doctors. They're African American. They were born they're black. The team that put these books together, and this is the school curriculum. That's what's been being taught in Florida. And Kamala Harris made herself look a fool talking about slavery, and some little piece she probably took out of context that one of her handlers told her to say it and to show emotions. Like, give it to them. Like, don't laugh. Get that angriness out. I think it's just a play, because it's all puppets. It's like a play. They practice, they run their lines, and then they get in front of a camera with lights, and it's lights and camera, and do your thing, and then whatever, she's doing her thing, and then when she's done, I'm out, and that's it. And to me, I just feel like it's a fucking it's a playbook. It's a book. It's a play. It's like these things, these words, everything's premeditated. It's all premeditated. They have it all, like, they know what she's gonna say tomorrow. They give her a paper and they tell her, smile, look stupid, wave at the cameras, look stupid, smile, and laugh. Just laugh. And that'll be what she'll be doing tomorrow.
That's why most politicians have many degrees. They have a lawyer's degree. Some of them, if they're smart enough or they're in the right families, they actually go to acting class. They know how to read scripts and all that kind of stuff. That's exactly what they are. And if you're good at it, then you rise to the top. Same with people that do media. Most of them, and the ones that get applied, they get paid a lot of money And if they read off a script, that 20 or $30 million contract you have is going to be expended, So even like you're saying about Whoopi, she's under the book too. Don't fool yourself for a second. Same with Oprah, they're all under the books.
Oh, let me tell you that I don't know how people watch The View.
It's entertainment.
I don't know. I just, to me, it's not entertaining at all. It gets me more like agitated.
That's probably why you
Because
don't watch
it's so like just to imagine, right? Living in a world where you have other individuals here, and you see the way they think through this square, rectangle box here, and you see them and just making a fool of themselves. But people tune into this. People really have faith in these girls, and it's just
people watch sports and commentate on sports. Me and you, we watch wrestling and all that, and there's commentator that. When you really look at it, depends on what perspective you're looking at it. It's all foolish. There's no reason or sense to it. It's entertainment. It's all entertainment. So to think one is any different than the other, that's just one's personal preference. It's like when somebody says to me, Dominic, I don't watch, let's say, I'll use the word Hallmark movies, chick flicks. I say, yeah, but why? Because it's too emotional? Okay, when your football team loses in the Super Bowl, don't you get emotional? So shut the fuck up. I said, they're all emotional driven. Watching wrestling, watching Hulk Hogan fight somebody else when you know knowingly it's scripted to a certain point. Or if you actually watch, I remember back in the day, me and my brother used to record. He sit down 2 hours of one of these major tournaments or whatever, and it's about 20 minutes of wrestling. The rest of it's just yapping. McMahon talking to his son-in-law and all that. It's all entertainment. It's useless information, but it's entertainment. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So
that's wrestling. That's how it is, and now it's more flashy lights.
It's always been, yeah.
They got better equipment. Okay,
they still got midgets. They used to have midgets.
Oh, those are the best.
Yeah,
those are the best.
Yeah, Dom DiNucci and all these other characters from way back when. But it's all entertainment. That's all it is, Rick. So today, because we have like 5,000-6,000 billion channels, we need to be entertained. But if you watch all these different channels, they're all being scripted very similar. As you have all those people in the background, they're NBC, ABC, ESPN. If we funnel all of those, they probably go to about maybe 6 or 7 families, or let alone BlackRock. So for me to think that some singer that he's actually representing the citizens, no, he would have cement boots within the hour if he's actually playing against the system. Within hours, you wouldn't even have a chance to buy tickets for him.
Shit, it's still available. I live in a Democratic state, so a lot of Democrats probably won't go see him. But
yeah, well, that's the thing.
There's still Republicans out here, and there's some. Listen, I ran across people, and just talk to them, and see how they feel and stuff, and they even say to themselves, it's like, this is it for Biden. If he wins, the fix was in.
Always is.
And the dossier, because there's a dossier out for that, and it's in play now. And it's pretty much, attack Trump of all faces, and and lie as much as you can.
That's not really lies, Rick. It's not lies. They're just misleading information. The media has never been in their contract ever says they're about lying. They're just there to entertain. They can't tell you the truth. I'll give you an example, Rick. Right now, if you stepped outside of your house and the first piece of ground that you actually step on is not American soil, it's still under the rulership under the state of England. Every piece of land in America still belongs to the state of the Corporation of England. That's why you have to have something like allodial rights. Now, if you're a duke or a baron, now you actually are rulers. And this is why when America says we're the land of the free, yeah, you're free to build on it, but you don't own a fucking piece of land. That's why there's Freemasons there. They're allowed to build on there. That's why when America says, oh, the Constitution wasn't written for you. We the people and our prosperity. We the people. We the nobles and our prosperity, our bloodlines. Has nothing to do with you, Rick, at all. At all. And if you think otherwise, that's the distraction. That's why they know they're still asleep. Keep playing the game. Democracy, Democrats, Republican. That's a game. All of it is the illusion. And the fact that you talk openly, you're in it.
Yeah.
Now, imagine trying to pull out of it now. Now you're playing a different game. That's why people keep coming back over and over here, because you're having a difficult time realizing, oh, wait a second, could I really question the whole system? Well, but so-and-so, no. You got to go inwards to find out those kind of answers. The outside answers, those are the distractions. That's why when you talk about, people talk about Russia and Ukraine, that land rules by another corporation.
Yeah, BlackRock.
The Vatican, actually.
And Vatican.
Yeah. Remember, the BlackRock is okay. I'll give you an example. There's corporations. The Dow Jones is actually a little puppy to them. It's like, when people say they want to be in the Fortune 500, there's people that own the Fortune 500. So when they own it, they filter out of it. So we make a corporation and we can filter from it. That's why when you watch royalty families, whatever, what they make in one day, a city can't make in a fucking year. That's just that's how it's set up. So America right now, you guys are living in a country that your dollar was valued at 9 cents to the dollar in 2005. America's broke. They're finished. Now, how do we get away from forcing the rest of the country, the rest of the world to play with the Federal Reserve of America? That's where they're playing. That's why they use the Russian ruble and the Chinese yen to finance.
I think they have a meeting coming up next month.
That it could be, but that meeting's for something that they've already planned.
Now, I don't think it was with the U.S. It's like a global currency, something they were going to announce.
Well, they're announcing it among themselves because they're going to implement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not with the United States. It's something that they're doing over there.
No, the United States American currency is going to collapse. That's just ultimately what's going to happen. But what they're doing is they've already done it to India and China. So what they're going to do with this new digitals, the Bitcoin was just an excuse. The digital currency they're talking about has an expiry date on it, and it also has a credit system on it. And they're trying to get rid of people that have pensioners, because America, if they had to pay all their pensioners in the next 20 or 30 years, they'd be $300 trillion in a hole. All that stuff is out there. But unfortunately, most people get distracted. Oh, I got to vote for Trump. I got to vote for Biden. They're not important. It's kind of like watching the guy on the sideline of wrestling. They're not the ones that are actually in the ring. And the ones that even in the ring, they're already told what to do. Now, I get what you're saying. You're going to see the G8, the G4, and all that kind of crap. That's all distractions. We're talking about generational wealth. Like we're talking about if the barons, the Rothschilds, had to liquefy all their assets and put it into fiat currency, they'd be worth $500 trillion. So a guy like Bill Gates and Elon Musk and Soros and Bush and all that, that's chump change to them. And they're playing with money still. So until people realize that, the empire always moves. It went from Rome to Yorkshire, England. When they blew up the 2 Twin Towers, that was telling all their friends, we're doing it now.
It's like the gun that went off like poof.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. That's a good analogy. Sorry for my voice, Rick, because I realized this is not something's going to be, oh, this is nice. No, they're going to do a major shift. We're in a 10-year reset. We're in year 3.5. When they started applying the whole thing about the mask and all that other stuff, that was just to see, are our citizens really asleep? And they figured it out. They are. So now we're not going to have any pushback. You know, they showed when they closed down during that time what they own. They shut down the Vatican. They shut down Mecca. They shut down all the sports stadiums. They shut down all the industries. But they told the music and the movie industry, no, you guys keep working. You keep working. You're our bitch. You pay, because they got contracts. And some of them do sacrifice contracts. So that's a different game that those do. But hey,
Florida's crazy. They didn't close.
Yeah, same with the Vatican. The Vatican didn't close during that time.
Yeah, they didn't close. DeSantis was like, fuck you.
No. They were told they can stay open. No, Rick, never think that anybody's going to tell somebody else what to do. That's what the media tells you to do. Behind closed doors, their knees are both on the ground with their mouth wide open. Don't think that there's a lot of things being slurped in those countries, and let alone in America. America right now, like I said, because Russia and China already are playing with drones. America's, they have all that military, but the only reason why they have all that military is because they're paying them. Once you run out of money, that's it. It's like when Americans say, listen, we have all these guns. I say, yeah, but where are all your bullets coming from? They've actually showed exactly what they're going to do to America. What was
and you know something, I see America's weapons. Like I can see like some of their high-tech weapons. They got a lot of like never seen before type of shit. Like whose brain you got this from?
Oh, not from us. It's probably from when they went to Middle Earth, the landmass called Germanica gave the information to the Germans. That's where they got all that information. That's why they're ruling this time. That particular landmass right now is ruling. And Germanica is pretty powerful. They're a pretty powerful nation and a species.
And
so now,
you needed a distraction, so you started World War II.
Walking Dead is what I was going to say. Walking Dead is what they're going to do. That's what they're showing in America. They'll be the Walking Dead. They'll just lead everybody in America. They'll do the hunting game. They're just going to start eating. Because really, America's what, 300 million people? 380 million. That's chump change when it comes to the world population.
You start World War II. You have the biggest distraction. That's one of the biggest distractions in the world. Yep. And you can have these scientists sneak out, like, out of the show and sent over here.
Well, actually, when they did Paperclip, they sent a bunch of them to Canada first. And then they formed the stealth plane. And then I guess somebody, I think one of the prime ministers said, we can't have that. And then they left and they formed NASA. But during all that time, because you got to remember, Germany won the war. So they sent a bunch of their scientists to Russia. They sent them to West Germany. They sent them to all these different places. The whole ideal about, and I think this is my view, I think they erred. They shouldn't try to go for the superior race. They should have just went for the only race. Fuck it. Leave us all alone. Let us go somewhere else. Be done with us. But they were going with the whole ideal of the superior race. World War III is about the Christians being depicted and pawned against the Muslims. That'll be the excuse. A lot of that stuff is already scripted, Rick. Unfortunately for a lot of people, we're getting... It's
part of the plays.
Yeah. The human race is, I've been sharing it openly, the human race, it's time for it to be done. It's time for us to be evolved to another species. Like we've been manipulated before, meaning that who I truly am, I've been in other forms before. So now it's time for the human race to move on. That's why they've manipulated the food, the environment, they're bringing in AI and all that kind of stuff. Because it's time.
To take over.
You just have to look around the world. All the racism that they do to one race, they bitch and complain about religion. They bitch and complain about the things that are given to the human race. So really, they're spoiled kids. What do? You give a bullet to everybody? No, you just slowly say, okay, well, we won't allow you to repopulate. That'll be the first start, and that's what they're doing. Now, it sounds harsh what I'm saying, but I'm not the one that's creating war, treating the way people they are. Most human beings do not want to participate in all the high-tech technology of creating it. We just want to use it. How many people really would have time to figure out how to do, I'm going to make this computer, I'm going to make a car out there? No, most people are just too busy, like, as you would say, working hard or whatever. No, we're a species with all this technology. We shouldn't be working hard. We should be working smart. But we want to be entertained, which is fine. But at least are we participating in the entertainment? Are we all doing the singing? No, we want the few. And even that, most of those singers are walk-ins. That's the sad part about it. It's not like as though, Michael Jordan. No, you know how many walk-ins came on Michael Jordan? Well, fuck, and he sold himself. That's fine.
He put himself out there. He bet on himself.
But that's okay. It's still okay, because who we truly are, we're not the human form. Hence why polarity. We got the human form, we got the being form. Some people are human, they're having a being experience. They're the offsprings from a human, and then there's other ones that are beings like me, and maybe might be you, Rick, where your being's having a human form. Now, could the being part be more destructive? Yeah, because we're limited. Why? Because this place that we overtook from the humans, because the humans weren't doing fuck all anyway. But nature's going to stay the way it is, because nature's going to exist with or without the human race. But the human race, sure, they can bitch and complain about a previous entity ruling over them, but hey, they've never worked collectively. They never looked at each other and said, hey, let's care. In America, most people are worrying about being a nationalist, where they're already talking about being globalists. That's a selfish fucking human being when you think I'm an American or a Canadian.
Wow.
You know, dare not understand what's going on in India or China or Russia. They're not what's going on, like you're going to Iceland. Understand the human condition in all those different places. Most Americans are so fucking pompous. It's about time. Same with Canadians. I'm a Canadian. I'm not above reproach.
Yeah. How far are you from Niagara Falls?
I'm probably about an hour and a half, Rick.
An hour and a half?
Yeah, hour and a half. It's west of me, actually. I'm in Toronto, so no, my
Oh, okay.
maybe about 2 hours.
Oh, okay. So you're a good man to talk to then, because I'm going to Canada up there.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Yeah, and maybe you could give me some tips.
Tips. I know you said you're going to go to the Canadian side, right?
Yeah, I want to do the Canadian side.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do the Sky Wheel. I want to go to the cave under the falls, and
there's a lot of museums on the Canadian side if you like that kind of stuff. There's a nice bike path that goes along the Canadian part of the fall, and it goes right towards the American bridge over there if you like bike riding.
And have like good walking paths.
Oh yeah. Well, you're going to have a lot of tourists in those biking. That's why I was saying if you want to go a little bit further past the fall and you start going even away from the American side, you'll see the bridge. You'll see bigger houses there. That's a little bit more quiet or whatever. But hey, it's still a path. Okay.
Well, my question is, because I'm gonna rent a car, and is it allowed to go over the border?
Wow.
That's a good question, right?
Well, it's a good question. I can't answer that question.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure it out, because I'm actually going to go to the post office and stuff, and because I haven't received my passports, but we also put for cards, so that way if we're going to Canada, we show the card and they scan it. But we're waiting for that. I don't know how long that's going to take. But we have the physical passports. I was gonna stay over there for 2 days.
Nice.
I was gonna rent one of the hotels that's facing Niagara Falls.
Yes, and I think if I remember, if you like that kind of stuff, there's a casino I think in it too.
Yeah, I might be in that casino.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah, come visit me. I'll be in the casino with my tarot cards.
Love it. I love it, my friend. Yeah.
Oh man, my friend, she's a doll, right? She knows I'm really good with the energy. So she takes me with her to the casino, and she's like, tell me what's up. I go, roulette, stick to 11, stick to certain numbers I was telling her. I was just chanting it to her. So she made sure she stayed with it.
Nice.
Yo, the very first spin, she went to $100.
Good for you and her.
She won $100 on her thing, and I was like, "That's what's up. That's nice." She gave me a little tip. I was like, I'm out of here. You guys have a good time playing. I didn't want to be there and be like, this motherfucker, casino starts watching me and shit.
And they probably would, actually, regardless if you're a channeler and all that. They'll probably say, okay, you're just winning too many times and we can't figure it out, so out you go.
Yeah. So I just told her, look, this is what's going to win you. And she won a lot of money. Her friend that went, he was listening to me. And he was putting a little bit more money. And he made out with like 1,000, like in chips. He won a lot. He did good. He was like, that was good. I overheard him. And sometimes I like that. I have to stay quiet, but I didn't care. I want everybody to win. I want us, the peasants, to at least win.
And we do once in a while. Sometimes you got to allow us little simpletons to win.
I'm giving this for you guys. bam, hit that number. And when it hits it, it's like, oh, the excitement. People get excited.
I think it would be. Yeah, it would be.
Like, oh shit, hell yeah, that's what's up. And then I have to leave because
Okay.
that's energy too much, and I
Right, right.
know they'll be looking at me. I know they look at me. I'm like, I just go somewhere. I'll go to a slot machine. I'll feel the energy, see it, and then play it, and then win it.
That takes discipline, even in itself, Rick. That takes
Yeah, it
discipline.
does because every machine releases a feed. Like I feel the energy.
Hmm.
It's like something about it. It calls me, and I've had times that I've won a lot of money on a slot machine. Actually, a game I was playing, and I won a lot of money on that machine. And that energy I always felt it. Like it was comfort. I was like, maybe I have a dead, like old lady spirit with me that loves to play casino, and she's a risker because she likes to risk, but she loves the rewards.
Mm.
And I've had rewards because of that bitch. I broke my fucking neck, but
Oh, sorry to hear that.
but I still go once in a while. I'll go to MGM MGM Casino in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Hmm.
So I'll tend to go to that one, and or I go to if I want to go to Seminole Land. Well, it's not Seminole. It's the Foxwoods. They have Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun. The Mohegans. Um, their casino. They always treat me good when I go in there because they see my skin tone and they see how I look and they think I'm Indian.
Hmm.
Yeah, and they treat me nice. They treat me nice there. They're like, "Oh yes, anything, you know." It's the tone. I got Indian tone. Like I'm gonna do the test. I already Black Friday. When I do my Black Friday show, I'm gonna order like maybe four different boxes, four different brands to see what we get for results. To narrow me down where the hell I'm from and where my roots are from. It'd be fucked up if the papers come back and it says error.
Hope not.
Yeah. I'm like, what the? Then I'm have that someone knocking at my door. And I'm like, oh man. I go, listen, I'll do it. And a couple of conditions. I get to keep my show, and I want to broadcast on the time I want to broadcast, and the show goes on the same. No telling me to say anything. It has to come off my mind, and yeah, and my cats. Make sure my cats are taken care of. Take care of my cats. So I used to say that a lot. It's like, oh, if they come, the military comes or whoever comes, yeah, they could come. You gotta take care of me. You gotta take care of my cats, and then if we're taken care of, I'll help y'all. I'll help y'all. You know, if they ever needed me, I'll help them. I mean, if it's for America, I mean, if it's something that they need to know something,
Hmm.
because I'm sure I remember back in the days because I feel the energy that kings and queens used to call on their psychics to the castle and to give them a reading. And if the readings weren't good enough, off with your head. Off with your head. They take you to the back. Next. And many people lost their lives. But there was one guy, he was very smart, and he was really good and pretty accurate. And imagine that's my bloodline. I would like to know where my bloodline is, or you know, because I'm very psychic, like very, very, very psychic, and it's very clairvoyant. See things, hear things. Like I don't know, it's the energy. I feel the energy. Take advantage of it. But yeah, I got 4 more shows to do for 400. So I want you guys to show up. Like Dominic, I'll be, we'll do a show. I was gonna do live camera show everybody, but I said nah, because there's gonna be a lot of shy people. A lot of people don't want to show their mug. I go, we'll keep it under emojis for everyone. I can have up to. I believe I could have up to 8 or 9 individuals together here. So, like a Brady Bunch, something like like not a Brady Bunch. To be like Connect Four, like the Connect. Yes, yeah, it's Connect 3. It's the not Connect 3, Connect 4. But I'm looking at what's it? I forget the name of the X's and O's. Tic Tac Toe. Tic Tac. Look at that. Tic Tac Toe and X and O's.
By the way, I saw Barbie today.
Oh, you saw it?
Yep.
All right. I want to hear your opinion.
Wasn't that actually that bad? I zoomed it up to about maybe 30, 35 minutes in. And then they had like a theme to it. They were talking about the women and how they got suppressed and all that kind of stuff. There was there was some meaning into the show itself. Outside of that, the constant pink and all that, I get that. They're always trying to perpetuate women
constant pink, the constant, hey Ken, hi Ken, hey Ken, yeah. Hi Ken. Oh Barbie, you're so pretty, Barbie. Have a great day, Barbie. Like, punch me.
Well, what I got because you gave me the heads up on that, it's kind of like watching the Game of Thrones, and I'm not Game of Thrones, when Walking Dead, and they had those episodes early when everybody called everybody Neenan or whatever. Everybody had the same name, so you couldn't really identify who was the leader. So even though that's not how they're depicted, and they're just trying to say that there's so many Barbies and so many Kens before, but each one had their own career. And then when you really look at it anyway, for me, I was looking at it from the outside. This is how we depict as humans. You all have different careers. We have 2 genders and all this, and more male dominated opposed to female. So it was quite interesting.
Yeah, because when they went through the portal, or not portal, it was the cycle. It's crazy cycle, like the imagery of it. The space one was funny because Ken was always like trying to hold on to the rocket. He wasn't even invited, but when he gets to the world and they figure out it's a manly world. It's like it's not a feminine world. It's men pretty much are controlled. That's what I got from the movie. And when they went to the construction workers, that part was a little bit funny about the vaginas. Like, she doesn't have a vagina, and Ken doesn't have any genitals. Oh no! But it was very dry. It wasn't like, I don't know. Barbie, it's making good money, but it's for a certain group of people, I guess, right? Because certain people will understand that. Like, for me, I guess it's made for certain people, and they're making good money. So Um, I don't know.
Well, you
I never played Barbie. I don't know what the concept is. I just know like the older ones are pretty pricey. And they can be pricey, and it's plastic.
well, the theme was Barbie, but outside of the concept of Barbie, there was a lot of like little gems on human behavior
Hmm.
and how it's structured. If a person can look past the pink and it's Barbie, and like you said, saying it over and over again. You know, some people, in this case, you paid for the movie, so you went there. Some people would put, they think a meal is based on how good of a meal it is based on the price. Some people say with the same movie, but if a person didn't have to pay for the movie and just watched it and not get caught up, I've never played with Barbies, I don't like pink. That those are our likes and dislikes. They can actually see different aspects of the movie.
Hmm.
And once they realize that, even when they're talking about their big corporation guys and all that, you know, so once they can take away from all of that, then they can just see it for what it is. Now, I'm using my own depiction of it. It's like an artist doing a painting. There's many interpretations to it, but most people get herded in on their likes and dislikes. And whoever produces those kind of stuff, they know it's going to be like fly to shit.
Hmm.
They know most people say, "Oh, I don't like Barbie because I never had a Barbie. I love Barbie because I had a Barbie." Those are the simpletons. It's the ones that look beyond all of that and say, "Okay, if I've never had a Barbie and I don't have any concern, I got to see the movie for what it is." You
I've
know?
never had a Barbie.
Yeah.
I have race cars.
Yeah. So then you can see that's where we can cross relate, change the Barbie for, in this case, for you, race cars. And then think about, okay, the girls that get attached to a toy. I got a boy that gets attached to a toy, and it becomes like their Linus with a blanket. They can do
Hmm.
things with it. A woman can take it apart. You know, human beings, humans, not being humans, aren't that difficult. We all have very similarities. Is that sometimes somebody will look at something, they think it's totally different, but they can't make the association.
And you know, I had
Hmm.
a tower that had a car wash,
Hmm.
and you send it down the car, put it in the car wash, you go, and it actually washes the car. And then it has another button for the water, and then it comes out, and then you hit another thing, and it has air. It blows the air, and it came out. It's like it's a clean car. So I miss those times. I miss doing playing those, like being a kid, be on the floor and putting it together and having the imagination of a customer and have a great day. Push it down the slide, and and the other area is like the gas station. So he needs to put gas. You have to help him out. It's just the imagination. I had a good imagination when I was little.
Hmm.
Like they had me with that, and then they put me on this construction buildings, like to build buildings off of this pretty hard paper, cardboard houses with um, with roofs and floors, and they had me doing this crazy shit as a little kid, like really advanced toy. And that whole floor was it was a green kind of, bless you, kind of like a Lego style, but when you put the cardboard it will stay up, so you would design the city. So I had the streets, I had the sidewalks, I had um all the houses, all the roofs, um had to set up a city. And then my mom would be like, all right, can you get a city done in like 20 minutes? So she put me on a timer, and I would put a city together. And it's like, it was so helpful for the mind, you know, because it opens your mind and you start thinking things and where to put plates, you know, put these things at and make it look good. And My upbringing was a little different because they put me on I loved that game too because the houses were nice. You put the roof on, had a red house, had the red roof, and the other one had like a green color. And you just have to build a little city, and then the cars could drive on the city. I don't know. I think those things were like a test.
Where was that, Rick? That house?
No, it was a gift, right? But it was like it was basically you have to build the city.
Oh, okay.
So it's like you have to break out, like laid out the streets and then build the
Mm-hmm.
houses and so forth. And yeah, it was something that opened my mind up, because you start thinking of things and like, oh, what's should I do on this side? And I'm thinking I'm doing something here, but I'm thinking about something else. So it's kind of like teaching you to multitask.
Mm.
I like you're here now, but in your mind, start getting ready for the next one. So that way you know what you're doing.
I think they do video games. They've been doing that years. Like video games now, we can do the same idea, but through a video, opposed to like literally mechanical, like the way you're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
People used to have train sets, and then they would
Mm-hmm.
play with trains, and they would build like little cities with them.
Mm-hmm. I used to like the train sets. They're so cool. The sets, and there was this other set. Um,
Race set, like a car set.
no, it was like one of those bigger because they have the smaller trains
Mm-hmm.
and then the bigger train. Like there was a bigger train. So it's like I'm envisioning them. I'm seeing them. Like it makes me feel a certain way because it's a memory. But Christmas was my happy times.
Mm.
Those are the times I was always like super happy.
Gifts,
Like
a
I
lot of
felt
gifts.
good. Yeah, cold. The temperatures were well. This is in Miami, so cold to us is like 70 degrees. A nice day. Maybe 60. Not like up here, up or up where you're at. Oh, you know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends on what system comes through, what Clipper front came through, what system is coming past by, because they could dump a lot of snow.
Yes, cold, or when it's not snowing later on in the year, like in January, the cold weather plays a major role. More the cold than it is the snow. Snow at least is going to be at least 0, so you can at least dress up
Yeah.
for that.
Well, here when the snow is snow, right? But when that wind kicks in,
Mm. Yeah, I can imagine you guys.
even the next day, it's just that wind just blows the snow everywhere. It's just like these drafts, and sometimes it's hard to see through those damn drafts.
Mm.
Let's see what happens this year. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's the weather. The weather's just acting weird. I guess because this is the big show. This is the climate change show, which is we're heading into August. As the hurricanes are going to start acting up,
Are you in Hurricane
and
Valley? Where you are, is there Hurricane Valleys there or no?
yeah, well, the which one, the typhoon?
I wouldn't know. That's what I'm asking. Would it be typhoons there opposed to just hurricanes,
No, I
or
what I do is I check out the hurricanes, and then like from the Atlantic and the Pacific is not really that important to me, unless it's like by the Philippines. I know they got one going over there. They have a system over there. Um, but right now, there's a system that's hitting the islands right now, and they're getting a lot of flooding rain at the moment. Hurricane season is once it starts kicking off like normal August, like the waters are so warm, and the atmosphere is going to be ripe for a big storm to happen. That coastal storm would be so bad, like, or even have a Katrina. Katrina was once in a blue moon because she came in with a super tide, and she just really brought in a lot of water into New York, and destroyed a lot of houses and boardwalks in New Jersey. Got a lot of damage, but this is the chance. Listen, if you're living by the water, you know, have in the back of your mind that shit like this happens. And you get a freak storm. You know, it could cost you like your life. Any wrong decision could cost your life. Because like if a category 5, let me tell you this: if a category 5 is coming here to Connecticut, right? By the time it gets to me, it has to be a category 4. That shit would destroy my place where I'm living at. I cannot stay in this apartment. There's just no way. I'm surrounded by bricks. Like it's a brick building. You know. Remember the little wolf? He blows until he knocks it down. It's gonna take effect here, and I just don't want it to happen. I really don't want a category 5 Connecticut. That would be, first of all, it would hit Long Island first, and that will fuck up Long Island. That would be so bad for that area. Oof, I don't even want to think about it. That's so sick. But if it came up through where I'm at, oh man, it would be a lot of destruction. Ugh. Anyhow,
yeah, I hope it
but
doesn't
since
happen.
I'm more, since I'm up north, the water's a little cooler too.
Mm.
I'm hoping if it does come, it'll weekend real fast. It better not be a category 5 though, because then that's fucked up. Because Sandy was a 2 when she came in. The Gulf Stream was feeding her. That Gulf Stream was feeding her because it was on the coastline, and those waters were just like warm from the Gulf Stream. So that's how she got like more strength at landfall and caused so much problems. But they have it on YouTube. You can watch it. Hurricane Sandy. She was a bitch. But I I don't know. I'd rather have the snowfall than to have a tropical system. I mean, it's cool when a tropical system comes by here because you can feel I feel the pressure, and then I start aching. It just be raining, and that's it. It's like a depression. By the time it gets here, it's like a depression. Mm, it's good for the streams. But this year's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a wild season, and I'm wondering if they're manipulating the season. They're manipulating the atmosphere because you can easily do that, and that's what they've been doing lately. They've been sending a lot of storms out, and then they just pumping them with something to stay a lot of like moisture in the air because there's a lot of dry air that's there. So I think they're juicing them up and just pushing them along so they could put more moisture in the air and get rid of the dry air. Because there's a lot of dry air this season too. But I think the storms are gonna take off in August. That shit's like it's just gonna be a crazy time. It's gonna be interesting. I like watching. I like monitoring them and showing and talking about it.
It's like people that do storm chasing or whatever.
Yeah,
Somebody has
I yeah. You see the storm chasing thing now. I'm too fucked up for it. If I was younger, yes. Now, fuck that. I see it from here. I see it on video. Fuck that. I'm not that spring chicken. No way. That's for somebody else. Someone that's a lot healthier and has my same ambitions. Because that energy is so much in a hurricane. It's so strong. I would like to experience one again. Like to experience a hurricane, like do a reading during the hurricane, and then do a reading during the eye. That's a lot of energy. Those storms, it's that second half is not the best half either. It's really tough. It's tough for like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. If the storm is moving, that's why I feel bad for the Bahamas because they had a storm like that a few years back. That the storm just stayed on Freeport, and it was there for days. You imagine a Category 5 hurricane just on top of an island, Freeport, Bahamas, and the ice not moving. It's just there. And then it decides to move. Man, that place was destroyed. I've been to Freeport. It's okay. It's nice for snorkeling. Um, I had a conch salad, and that was it. That was Freeport. Freeport doesn't have much going on. The only thing I saw was a KFC. I saw a KFC, but it was just like a weird KFC, and then it's just like really different. I didn't see like much like stores or anything like that. It was just really, and they got destroyed. So I can imagine it now. But their waters are so beautiful. That's one thing. The water is like a tub, like a nice warm tub. It's like it feels comfortable. The water's so comfortable. Oh man. I'm here thinking because someone's really thinking a lot. And I think it's the cokehead Biden's son. I call him the cokehead because he's a cokehead. He's nervous because there's an opportunity they could say that they're not gonna give him the lesser charge, that they're gonna have a special counsel review it, and then they'll determine the charges based on the special counsel. Because that boy is getting away with everything. He took all his money. He's like, I did my coke in the White House. Fuck the bitches in there too. They're not gonna tell you that. That was private. But I'm high as fuck. Okay. It's like, if Trump wants the White House, they're gonna have to remove every item inside the White House, and then they need a clean team to go in there and like spray the whole place down, like deep clean the place. It's gonna take a while to do that, to really deep clean it. You know, this Biden kid, he does coke everywhere. He's a cokehead, man. When you see this, the sad part too is when you see him, you know, you could tell he's on coke. So you already know he's on coke. It's just he has this look, and then when he doesn't have his coke on time, he starts bugging out. He starts bugging out. He did the bug out on July 4th during the fireworks show. He was bugging out in the background on the balcony. You guys can go check it out. All you gotta put in is put his name and put coked out moments. I don't know. Oh man. Here thinking. Because when I get off of here, I want to check out the tickets. I think they may cost me like $100. Man, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna see what I can do there. Because I would like to go to his concert. I just saw his video. I might as well go to the concert and buy his record there and support him. He did nothing bad. He did nothing bad at all. The imagery, it's things that happen for real. How can he be punished from videos that happen for real? It's not like acting and they're acting that out. That's not it. It's life. It's real. That's happening. Those are real pictures. We have like kids breaking into the jewelry store. Like that happened. The guy punched the lady in the face, the old lady in the face to get her car. That's real. You know, that's happening in the big cities. You know, and the song is try that in a small town. Small town. Little people where they know each neighbor. They know the land. They're friends with amongst each other. And they know each other. They hang out, they drink a beer together. They know each other. They're very family oriented. But the good thing about him is that I think the mayor of South Dakota, she was in one of the channels, and she told him If he ever wanted to perform where in her state and in North Dakota, let her know and she'll work something out. And then people were like, they were talking bad about her. They tried to talk bad about her. They didn't know who she was until someone came up and was like, she's the governor of South Dakota. If she wants a concert of him, they will get that money together and they will get a badass concert in South Dakota. Like, it'll be all Sturgis. It'll be all bikes and shit. But it'll be good old, the good old boys, the hard workers. They're all riding their bikes. But I just feel like America is just turning. She's turning her back. She's turning her back on us. She doesn't even want to see what's happening. It's so embarrassing, She must be embarrassed. I think she has the book over her face. She has the book over her face, and she's like, I can't deal with this shit. This is not what I signed up for. These motherfuckers are crazy. They fighting over a song that has no racial values in it. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But my neck's been acting up. I just gotta keep loose. I just move it around. It just hurts. This rain is coming. That's why. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow or something. I just hate that pain. Yeah, where were we? All this crazy news agency behind me. I just feel weird. I'm like in political. Political is like right here. Like right here's political. And then post is right here. Right here's the Los Angeles Times. Oh, this right here is Los Angeles. Time is back there. I think I have some back here behind me. See, Times. And then, I don't know what's this one. Reuters is right behind me. That's a good one. Reuters, they be showing a lot of drama. They like drama. I'm already done smoking my second joint. What time is it? 1:39. So let's wrap it up in a few minutes so we can get to bed early. I don't know if I'm going to do that 400 show this week or next week. Because I want to make sure a lot of people come through or, people pass through. So, tomorrow I'm not going to be on. I'm not doing a show tomorrow. But I will be back on possibly Wednesday and Thursday. And then I don't know if I'm doing one on Friday, but I know I'm not doing one on the weekend. Doc takes the weekend. Let Doc take on 2 days in the weekend. He could do Friday. He could do Saturday meditation. He can do meditation with Doc Illusion. That'll be nice. And then have him do his readings. You get through a couple of chapters. And it'll be entertaining. And then I come back and do my show. I think my 400 show is probably going to be like next week. Watch it be next week. Because I'm taking off tomorrow. But if I take off tomorrow, I don't know if I need to take off Wednesday. If I don't need to take off Wednesday, I'll come on. But if I have to take off, I won't be able to be on here. And that's okay because the 400 episode is coming, so I'm just excited. We're heading there. Another accomplishment. That's so cool.
I think I think your friend Doc is doing one tomorrow. Actually, Rick.
Yeah, he's supposed to do one tomorrow by 12.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be doing something. Like, I know tomorrow I'll be busy. I won't be able to. I'll probably be able to watch. I'll probably be in the chat room during his show. Because I gotta go to Plainville. And Plainville, from where I live, it's about an hour drive. So I'll be listening to the show, and then I use my voice, the voice to text, to write in the chat room. I don't text and drive. I use the voice. Paula uses the voice. She puts in her voice. But I'm thinking what I'm gonna do with that 400 show. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, what should I do that day? If I do 4 hours, 4 hours straight, it's gonna hurt my back, but it'll be all right. I gotta check the weather. Make sure it's not raining that day. Let's see. Weather. For this week. Tomorrow, rain. We're supposed to get rain tomorrow. It's going to be 87. And then Wednesday is going to be sunny, 90 degrees. Thursday is going to be rain and thunderstorm, especially overnight. Thursday overnight is going to be thunderstorms. Then Friday, 94 degrees. And then Saturday, it looks like rain and thunder and lightning. Saturday and Sunday is going to be clear, 83. Monday be much clearer, 81. 58 low. It's not that bad. It's nice here. Our lows are, it's not that bad.
Do you do online card reading for your friends? Tarot card reading, Rick, by any chance?
Yeah, I sometimes do it. When they probably we end up doing that show, the 400 show. We'll get together. We'll do Doc has his cards, so he really gets into it when he does his readings.
Yes.
And I do mine, and then there's others that do theirs too. You know, Paula has her thing that she does, and she's really into the charts. But I'm not really into the charts. I don't really, because it's like you have separate branches within that community, and you can do certain things, but yet there's some things you can't do.
Well, when you choose not to do it, it allows others to do it if they need to do it.
hmm This damn media. I don't know. I already feel the fix, and the fix is in.
Mhm.
I feel like that dossier is being played now. I feel like I can feel like they're just doing what they can to silence people.
Or misdirect them. Probably using misdirect. I don't think they really spend that much energy silencing people as much as just misdirecting it. 'Cause remember, it's their media.
Yeah, and they just tell them, we're not gonna talk about it, and they don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't push it out to their people. So, it's on Wednesday is a big day. Wednesday is the cokehead son. He goes into to I think to accept the charges or whatever. I hope there they tell him no, you need to see special counsel, and we're not gonna accept your plea deal. I hope they tell him that. Oh, if they do that, Biden is gonna have to resign from the White House.
There's a good chance there's going to be certain judges and lawyers that are in certain clubs that are going to be in that room. So you keep in mind, you went to see the movie Barbie, right? And the other movie, right? How
No,
did you know?
I saw that shit here.
Oh no, you saw it here, but you went to the movie theater.
Hell no.
Oh, you okay? Saw it at home.
Hell yeah.
Okay, no, I'm trying to get a sense where you thought. But how did you know about it? It was the media. It's the same media that's going to tell people what they're going to do to some president's kid or what they're not going to do to him. It's the same media. It's the same source. We got to take the sweet with the sour. And usually, a lot of times when there's somebody important, think about O.J. Simpson. He had to use a very special card to get out of jail with his membership, but then they punished him on their own with small demeanor on the cards. That's how it works usually. It's kind of like being in the mafia. You're protected by the mafia, but if they have to actually use a chip to get you out, it's like the insurance. You're there to be covered, but if you get into a car accident, we'll give you one forgiveness or whatever. But the second time, we're just going to increase it on you. That's all it is. Now, if we honestly think that the court system, Commerce Court, is actually set up to help us, no. People, if they want justice, you get it outside of the Commerce Court. You try to avoid going into Commerce Court. But it's going to be, it's entertainment to a certain point. Rick, me and you talking about it, regardless if it's human life or whatever, it's still entertainment because let's just hope it never happens to us and the people around us. The ones that it's happening to, how would we even have known about it if it wasn't for the media? How would people know about poverty outside of their own community? This is the distraction. If people saw poverty in their own community, either it would be such an eyesore, eventually they're going to do something about it. But what happens is most people are living from a privileged point of view. I got a TV, I got a computer, I look at that. Now, other people, what they fight about when it comes to racism is how much one particular gender, we'll say it's the light-skinned gender, are more privileged than others. That's all they're talking about. They're not talking about equality. And if they are talking about equality, they're probably talking about equality of gluttony. Because how many people born through a womb will either undervalue or overvalue the privilege they have from being in that form? And most of that has nothing to do with the form. It has to do with how it was structured before any of us were born. Or a rebirth anyway.
You know how many writers work for these people?
Oh, I imagine a lot of them. Probably police officers, probably KGB, CIA. Yeah, there's a lot of it's staged. Not all of it. We know if you throw a rock at a building with a bunch of people there that are angry, monkey see, monkey do. But the first one might actually work for like you said, rioters that are orchestrated and they're paid.
Yeah, the one right
police
here. Well, yours is right here.
Which one? Which one are you talking about?
Right here.
You're pointing fingers. Okay, I see it.
I'm playing vinyl white.
Okay. I'll take a letter R, please. I'll take an R. Yeah, you know the page. You know what's going on, Rick. It's just Now I know sometimes I'm trying to be very wary because it's your site, and unfortunately with YouTube, and they can punish you in a sense of striking you. So I try to be very wary of giving names, but I get it.
Yeah, well, a lot of this shit, their dirty laundry has been coming out.
Yeah.
And they're just sloppy. They're sloppy. Like, who are these people that I know? They need to step it up because they're very sloppy.
They probably are, and maybe there's something going on. Like, I find it interesting when people talk about freedom of speech. We have freedom of speech, yeah, but how does that work when you're on somebody else's platform? That's commerce. Freedom of speech has nothing to do with commerce. If I want to go into the city hall and I start talking freedom of speech, I'm actually violating them. It's like a private versus public. If me and you are in a restaurant and we chose to make that table a private conversation, and somebody next to us actually over here is doing some sort of criminal activity, if they take us to court, they can actually be sued. That's the difference between private and public. But again, most people don't understand, when you're talking on this platform, freedom of speech is no longer valid. You can still speak freely, but you'll probably be punished commerce. Because there is, like I've had a couple of people that I know in Canada, they had like 900,000 subscribers. They shut them down. Literally shut them down, took all their PayPal. I'm pretty sure it happened in the States too. They even passed laws here in Canada where you're going to be restricted how much, as an influencer, you can only have your sites for America and Canada, no longer India. They're even talking about you're going to have to start paying pretty soon if you want those other extended countries. But that's a business. That's just a business. I get it. Yeah, it's always business. eBay did the same thing. I've always told my buddies, I said, Facebook with Marketplace, Kijiji. When did we ever get to a point where the people that are in control, anything you do, any transaction, why aren't they charging taxes? Because they already knew a long time ago they're going to a new system. Once they get rid of fiat currency, they don't have to worry about underground people playing with cash. I find it interesting when my buddies say, well, Dom, I'm going to take this guy to court because they didn't pay me. I said, what are you going to say in court? He says that, he didn't pay me. I said, what happened if the judge turned around and said you tell him that you're playing with cash? If you say you're paying with cash and you didn't pay it, they're actually committing a crime against the Federal Reserve. It's funny how humans, again, I don't know why they do it. They just, I think humans maybe they were never designed to fucking really think.
No,
the being part, I get it.
They were designed to react.
Yes, the being part that we all have an opportunity. Yes, that's the thing. But the human part, no offense, it's a beautiful thing. An animal. I look at a cat, even though I think even a cat has its own intelligence. They could even just be a drone.
They are smart.
Oh, I think they are, and they do. They use their senses. But for some reason, I think as we become more city dwellers, it could even be orchestrated that they try to dumb us down. But at the same time, we're not completely dumbed down. So I don't know. People love their comforts, I guess, or the thing that I really get frustrated more times than not, Rick. It's not when somebody gets angry or they really want to be positive. It's the people that are usually indifference for others. The arrogance. Like I get it. Some people can be all upset about their own country, but when you try to give them an example of other countries, well, that has nothing to do with me. I said, well, then who are you talking to? Because the person that you're talking to could say the exact same thing. It's a lack of consideration for other human beings. When it comes to oneself, care about yourself, make it important. But when it comes to anybody else but you, make yourself insignificant in the equation. Almost step back. But unfortunately, most people get caught up in that me. They forget the upside down we. Until they learn that, sucks to be humans. And I'm okay if human gets what they deserve. It's not because I've created anything. I didn't create guns. I don't create war. Now I'm an electrician, so yeah, I participated in the diodes. I didn't make them, but when I put up an LED light for somebody, there's diodes in it, and that does a lot to the brain. So whether people are aware of it or not. I didn't create books, but there's a lot of people that are promoting books, not realizing, but you know what the reading of a book actually does to the brain. It dumbs you down, you know. But I need information. Then go inwards. Anything that's been inspired to be written can be inspired to be picked up in the astral plane, in the spiritual plane, the conscious plane, mental plane. You know, but unfortunately, you know, when I say few people are truly utilizing that, maybe out of 7 billion people, maybe 400 million. The rest, fucking NPCs. NPCs at best. I'm an NPC too in a lot of areas, but I try to be aware in other areas. But I'm not going to tell other people what to do. I can only point out that just observe. You know, it's not like as though we're in an era where I don't know there's crimes going on in Russia. I don't know if there's crimes going in Ukraine. You know, most people will rip into the Russians. I forget. No, you got to remember the Ukrainian citizens are no different than the Russian citizens. They're just naive pawns in the equation. But when they start picking sides, it's like when I hear my friends from America, they've been in the military. Well, Don, we're here to defend your country, our country. I said, not when you're in somebody else's country. Get the fuck out of other people's countries. No, but they get all upset. I said, that's called an invasion. And if you understand that you're actually helping big corporations man their stuff, regardless if you agree or not, it'll be like all of a sudden communism coming over to America. Dare not people understand how martial law works. If there's ever martial law in a country, you can't have your own citizens, military guys to mandate. So you would have to have a foreign nation stand over you. In Canada, we're okay because we have the British military already here. But in America, it would have to be a foreign nation. Then they're fucked. No offense to you guys in America, because you're just citizens there. But it's when an American figures he's a nationalist. Said, now you're just being a fucking piece of shit as a human being. You're a human being race. Human race. We should start considering other races before our own nation. But I get it. They've had it too good. It's time for the empire to move on. It's time to move to another place. And when that happens, I'm pretty sure in Canada we're going to be affected too. I'm all for a lot of people coming into Canada because we got such a big land mass. Having only 40 million people, that's almost an insult. We should be at least 100 million people. You know?
Easily.
I'm with you.
I would have moved to Canada.
Yeah. And you know something? And that might change with the digital system, because if that becomes more of a global when it comes to currency, we're not going to have to worry about the Federal Reserve saying, okay, we're going to control America with that type of currency. We're going to control Russia. It'll just be a universal currency. So there is going to be some advantage, probably still for the elites, but there'll be some advantage for the rest of us when we can do more inner traveling and all that kind of stuff and live in other countries, not worrying about my currency is weaker than somebody else's currency.
Yeah, because it's the same currency.
Yeah. Now, will there be people above us that are going to be corrupt? I think only corruption happens when the masses aren't obedient. And when I say obedient, I'm talking about knowing their place. If you know you're just a simple human being that just want to enjoy working, okay, then don't teach your kids to aspire anything beyond that, and vice versa. Because we all need leaders in certain areas of our lives. You can't have the children, even though they might be very old souls, running the family when it's the responsibility of the father and mother. It's their turn to practice that. Whether they fail or not, that's still their turn. This is where people forget. When you're in somebody's kingdom, and I'm going to call this Lucifer, Satan's kingdom, we have to show respect. For some people that don't, it's because they don't either understand the rule, or if they do, but they don't want to follow it, I said, now you're disobedient. And sometimes they need to be punished. And how they get punished, don't know. I really don't know. Sometimes punishment can you give them $1 trillion, and the next day take it all away. There's your punishment. So there's a good chance whoever's the elites are, they literally might be following the script. They're probably being obedient. That's why I try not to interfere when somebody says, well, Dominic, but what about the elites? I said, I'll talk about them, but I'm always talking like when I hear somebody talking about somebody getting molesting, I said, I don't know the karma. I'll be sympathy for the person that's been done to, but I said, don't expect me to pick a side because I don't know what's really going on here. The whole picture hasn't unfolded yet. That's why I don't get mad at Bill Gates and all that. I'm just curious. I'm like, interesting. Bill Gates, Gates Foundation. And that's probably why I took him to court. That makes sense and all that. But when I start hearing people say, well, I don't like him, I said, that's your likes and dislikes. Put that aside. Because most people don't know the big picture. You know, racism, slavery, all that. People don't understand how it really came to be. And let alone, it was harder back in those days for people that were masters and slaves because somebody had to feed them. Today, hey, we'll just print money. You can do whatever you want. Come buy from our corporation. Because a lot of people get selfish. It's all about them. But I want to be rich. Would you be able to know how to be a trillionaire or a billionaire? Would you know what it takes to be Bill Gates or Soar and all that? We don't know. And if a person even does know, are you going to apply discernment on it? Especially when you find out, we pan the camera and realize it's the masses that are the disgusting ones. They're the disobedient ones, complaining about the news, complaining about ESPN, complaining about democracy, complaining about communism, complaining about child fucking support, complaining about there's a lot of fucking complaining. Sounds like they're the same people that were Adam and Eve, pointing fingers. At least the serpent never complained. Now, somebody could turn around and say, I'm favoring somebody. I said, no. People use devils in the detail. I said, I like details. I guess I'm with the devil. But I'm okay with it because I'm not perceiving it as bad, let alone good. How does it serve me or do I serve it? I just want to know what position do I play? I'm okay with serving and I'm okay to be served. But for most people, they're greedy fucking humans and it's time, be done. But it won't be done the way people imagine. We should depopulate. Well, who's going to put up their hands? Because most people are fucking self-absorbed. It'll be you take birth control pills. We'll raise the economy. We'll make you take a couple of vaccine shots. All of that, and eventually you fall asleep. Now we still come back, but where do you come back? Okay, we'll let you become a sequoia tree. We'll let you become a fruits of life, or you pick up a couple of ants, or you can just stay in the spiritual realm. Because this is a place to come to enjoy. This is a vacation place. The earth is a vacation place. Now I get it. You got to pay while you're here. You got to pay to die. You got to pay to be born. But in those other planes, it could be something else. You know, I'm glad we don't always remember where we were, but we can at least use where we're at. And when people start realizing that, because even you're a psychic worker, there's a lot of people, they have a lot of problems, but a lot of them, they manifest themselves. And then they bitch and complain about, it was my parents, it was my kids, it was my community. I said, where's your onus in all of that? Because last time I remember, you're in that suit, nobody else. Now, somebody could turn around and say, well, Dominic, yeah, but that person harmed me. I said, are you sure you really understand all of karma? How do you not know you didn't fuck them before or neglected them before? 70 years, 80 years is a very short lifespan. Especially when you realize you've been around for numerous of lifespans. But I get it. Most people are going to say, okay, but Dominic, I only care about where I'm at now. It's okay. So what's the surroundings in your now? Because most people are still walking around complaining, but they're blind. Like, I just want what I want. Oh, okay. So what? You want the government to tell you what you want and what you need. And then when we start giving names, well, this person, no, you're like one of those Christians, Jesus, or philosopher, Socrates. I said, the name should have been dead a long time ago. What's the teachings and how does it serve you? Let alone do you serve it? But I went to university. No, you went to a hobby school. I became a doctor. I said, okay, so when do we need that many doctors? Does that mean everybody needs to take care of each other anymore? Or there's a lawyer. That doesn't mean because people don't know how to handle their affairs. If we knew how to handle our affairs, do you think we would need so many lawyers, Rick? Probably not. But we do, because we live in a country where they make economic gains from third, fourth time offenders, where you can easily go to another country and say, listen, you drink and drive, that's it. You lose a tongue the first time. And we hope nobody ever has to do that. But we live in a world, in this part of the world, where we want to make economic gains from it. So yeah, I got rob a bank, so then we can play police officers, and then we can have prisoners and all that. And then the only thing people bitch and complain about, it's only corporations that own all the prisons. I said, yes, you're right, they do. But everybody else is still bitching and complaining. Yeah, but it's petty crimes. I said, well, how many of your people and your citizens, besides going in the military, want to grow their crops? How many of them would want to learn where the sun and the moon have to be? Well, no, you'd rather go to the grocery store and be somebody's bitch. You'd rather get somebody else to, no offense to both of us, because Rick, we're included in the fun. No different than you want somebody else who's going to build you a plane so you can go to Iceland. No different. Somebody's going to build you a car to go to Niagara Falls. Do you see how all of us are so fucking spoiled? But yet they want to do a revolution outside, but they've never done it inside. If people spend time really realizing what the fuck they aren't or what they've done, they would keep their fucking mouths shut. But I guess we're all going to talk still because that's what we do. I want to complain, Dom. I'm going to write a whole fucking big book. I'm going to read the Bible. I'm going to read the Quran. I'm going to read Hinduism. I'm going to read the Constitution. Fuck, that's all excuses. And how many justifications people do this defense? Well, Dom, you don't understand. I said the word gives it away. Understand. The tree of life, wisdom and understanding. Where's knowledge? It's the baby. But it is what it is, Rick, and I get it. Everybody's at their own journey, and along the way, you're going to heal a whole bunch of people that are going to go right back up there and fucking stab themselves in the back. And that's for them to learn. You know what I mean? Like I've always said, hey, we should be like the elites. Let's print a whole bunch of money, give it to everybody else, but they still won't be happy. Most people can't even be sad for more than a couple of minutes, so then why would you think you're going to be happy for more than a couple of minutes?
Yeah.
You know, but hey, it's a learning lesson, and I know I keep coming back just to be, what do they call it, Buddhicatas or whatever, you know, try to help other beings here, because humans don't give a shit about personally. You know, it's a vessel, it's a beautiful vessel, but it's a vessel that's going to expire anyway. So why would I put value on something that's only going to live 70 or 80 years when I know I'm not it? But a lot of people get attached to it. Even the fucking Buddha had to come back 13 times because he thought he could break the attachment. He got caught in the attachment of ideals. You know, people think, oh, Jesus is going to come back. Yeah, he's not coming back with a fucking pleasantries. He's coming back with a sword. You're a Christian. Fuck off. You're dead. You're a Buddhist. Fuck off. You're dead. You know, I tell my buddies all the time. I said, how many of you guys would actually give up all your worldly possession or whatever you think you have to be beside Jesus or Buddha? Fuck none of you. So stop fucking lying to yourself. Be honest with the self by getting to know the self. Until they do that, the media are going to feed on you like an uncle feeds on a child when he's a predator. He doesn't even know it, or he doesn't know what it is. I'm making that one up. I don't wish that upon anybody. But if it does happen, there's something to be learned from it. This is where people forget. Something could be learned. What did you learn by cutting your finger? I learned not to do that again. I said, they're learning a lesson. I'm glad a whole bunch of people was in the room to watch it. Did anybody learn from this? No. Tommy, you want to do it? Okay, I guess you didn't learn. So you be the example. But the only difference is you're doing it after he did it, so you're the moron right now. The other person did it by accident. If I'm saying this out loud, because I know people are probably going to watch it, if they're truly thinking there's a universal consciousness going on with the human race, which it isn't, but the being part could be, and if they think that there's going to be a change, because change always happens, is just that, are we going to participate in the change? Just talking about it, which I'm okay with doing, talking about it. Hopefully other people, if they feel as though they want to do something about it, that's up to them. But last time I remember, the humans do a lot of things when it comes to, you know, becoming more comfortable. I'm talking for myself too. You go to the grocery store, somebody else gives me the gas station, somebody makes the money, somebody governs over me. You know, how many people would have, Rick, honestly, how many people would actually entertain those ideals and then sit in it, literally sit in it long enough to realize, holy fuck, I don't have fucking time to bitch and complain about anybody else now.
Yeah, that's too much control. That's a lot of control. The way I'm seeing it, that's way out of hand. Too many. And then you still have a risk of being intercepted, your card being intercepted, and someone with a brain could get into the account and drain it out.
They could, and ultimately, that you're right, Rick. That could happen. Again, regardless if they put it into a digital system, it's still an IOU. If a person puts value on what they've earned from expending their energy, unless it's some material thing outside of a piece of paper, because now we're talking about digital, that's just up in the air. You could wake up with one with a bunch of zeros, and the next day you could have the same amount of zeros, but no one in front of it. So that's part of it. And inevitably, that's what's going to happen, because how does a billionaire become a trillionaire? He has to scam a whole bunch of millionaires. How does a trillionaire become like 100 trillionaires? He has to scam a whole bunch of trillionaires. So it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. So with the advent of digital, there'll probably be a lot of situations where people are going to be scammed of it. It'll probably even be the corporations themselves. Especially now, if you go, you're speeding, you're doing 10 kilometers or 10 miles, whatever, you're in the States, 10 miles, you can easily get something in the mail, and it'll be quickly on your digital phone. It'll say, listen, we just took now $10 from your PayPal account because you did speeding. And if you complain about it, but if you lose it, you lose this type of privilege. They're already doing that now in a lot of areas. You know, people understand how credit cards work, that eventually will be attached to other things. We're probably not going to have any more brick and mortar when it comes to banking systems, but like any new system or old system, it has some advantages to it. It'll bring more convenience to whoever's around, but at the same time, if you disobey it, the price is going to have to be heavy because they want obedience. And most people, they strive for obedience. If they didn't want obedience, then they wouldn't be talking about the word government. The only reason why they're complaining and they talk about government is because they want their cake and eat it. They just don't like the way the government is handling them, but they still want governments. That's the difference. It'd be different if a person says, no, I don't want government. Well, then I guess I don't need to hear that word out of your mouth then. I don't go around. I only say because just to make a point, whatever. I don't say anything with belief. When somebody said you believe in God, I said the fact that you put those two words together, I'm not interested in that conversation because I don't put the word belief. It's like when people say, Dominic, I won't believe until I see it. I said, once you see it, you no longer can say belief. You can only say no. Who the fuck taught you how to speak? Grow up. Start really being the gatekeeper from within. Understand your speech. And if they don't, I know I can bastardize words, and I'm very grateful when other people correct me. But when other people use it for a defense, I'm like, come on, guys. Grow up a little bit. Stop being fucking children. And when I say children, between the age of 7 and 14 is when you have to develop your feelings. And when people get all upset, oh, you don't understand my country, that's being a child. Because it's not your country. It's not your country based on the landmass. That's a conditioning. You might as well say I was born in a church. No. Church of God, if there's a God or whatever, is outside, not inside. And when I say outside of that church, but it could be inside too at the same time. If a person values the concept of God, I usually the word God, alien, reptilian, you can use whatever words you want to describe the undescribable. But there is something out there that created all that stuff, and it's beyond the men's capacity. And until people become aware of that, they're asleep. They're living in their little glass little house, hoping that no rocks gets thrown from the inside, not from the outside. I get it. Don't get me wrong, Rick. I love you. You're a nice guy. But when it comes to humanity, I don't make it personal with you because you're not responsible for everybody. But I'll talk general. We as a collective, discussing as a collective, we've made a mess of things. But pointing fingers to other individuals is an excuse, and it's the delay of taking accountability for oneself. It's not the president's job to be concerned about you. It's not the prime minister. Now, if we want to use it as comedians, no problem. And if we find out, hey, guys, I'm purposely just a comedian. Okay, then we can make fun of you like Dave Chappelle. But he gets paid for that. But to literally think that he's going to make my life any better, the responsibility is mine and mine only. When I'm a child, I need to be dependent so my parents can learn something about teaching somebody, being of service. When I get to a certain age, I have to learn slowly how to become interdependent with humanity. The ideal of being independent is delusional at best. Because last time I remember, everybody in a city, somebody else makes their car, makes their clothes and all that, makes their money. So where's the independent? That's not independent. That's interdependent. Until then, everybody's just, hey, I want Rick to help me, which I'm glad that you can, Rick. But eventually they're going to go right back out there and say, yeah, Rick, I put another sword in my back again. No, I think it was the president. No, I think it was the nurses' time. All those damn nurses, they're just doing their job. Regardless if they're under control or not, they're just doing their job. It's like people that, I don't want to vaccinate myself. I do want to vaccinate. Okay, you can do whatever you want. But if you're walking into that guy's store, show some respect. Yeah, but I don't, no, you're missing it. You don't want to take the jab or you do want to take the jab. Doesn't matter. Difference is that person's playing a game and it's his business. This is where people become disrespectful. Whatever you want to do privately, keep it to yourself. No different like the LCB or whatever. You want to have a personal sex preference, keep it private, not public. I'm not going to go around telling everybody else the positions I do with my wife. I'm not going to, that's usually insecure people looking for validation. And that even happens when people vote. Oh, I'm a liberal. I don't fucking give a shit what the fuck you are. How's your country turning out? It's pretty shitty, so does it really matter what position you're in right now? Get your house in order before you start fucking talking about who I am for and who I'm not for. The governments are just no different than mafia. The only difference with the mafia, at least they take care of their community. Now, but they might ask, okay, listen, I need some money for your protection. From who? Probably from us. But would you rather pay us or pay the tax man and pay all these other things? Make your choice. This is how small communities were formed, whether people like it or not. What are you protecting us from? Somebody else moving in on your turf. Oh, okay. You know, we have big corporations. You were just saying you went somewhere and you only saw like a Kentucky Fried Chicken, if I remember correctly. You know, how convenient when we go to different places, we're looking for big corporation stuff. We're not, you know, I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but you just mentioned as an example. Where some people, that's all they want to see. They don't want to go to a mom and pop, go to a restaurant. No, I want to go to a steady McDonald's or a steady Subway sub or whatever, this type of place. Okay. But then they'll bitch and complain because they're not serving me healthy food. I said, they're not about health. They're about location.
Mm-hmm.
It's like YouTube. YouTube, most of the sites, it's about entertainment. You know, the ones that are applying health things, whether it's you or other people, most of the stuff that they're trying to promote to be monetized is for more or less, can you entertain the people? Yes. When you're entertaining the people, even if you're selling something healthy, then we sell a product with it. Because if it was solely based on people subscribing or thumbs up or whatever, getting paid, most influencers would be broke.
Mm-hmm.
It's the big industries, the big corporations that can print money whenever they want, and most of them don't even pay taxes in the countries that they're in, so they can give them money. But the fact that you offer a lot, Rick, thank you. You know, I know go on a little bit, but thank you. I know your intention is honorable, and you care about the people that you help.
Yeah, I'm getting tired too.
Tired energetically, you mean?
Yeah, no, I'm sleepy. I took my medicine, so.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want me to leave, when you're ready to go, tell me. Sorry for me going on.
Yeah, I'm ready to. I agree with everything. I was taking everything on, and I was like, oh, I'm ready to go to sleep now. It's like all this educate because I love education. Like it's kind of like not reading a book, but it's like you're educating yourself and you fill up with so much knowledge before going to sleep, and then you start thinking about it while you're sleeping.
Right, then your subconscious kicks in. Yep, I do that a lot. I will listen to stuff when I'm asleep, and my subconscious kicks in, and I realize sometimes my conscious mind is easily distracted, or I've been conditioned. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things I lean more towards other, but subconscious. I would hope whatever we want to call it, subconscious, higher self, or whatever, is taking in more information.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully I'm receptive when I'm conscious.
Yeah. But tomorrow I won't be on. I won't be on tomorrow, but I will be back on Wednesday.
Enjoy yourself, okay, Rick? No matter where you are, enjoy yourself, okay?
Yeah, I have a friend. She having surgery, and she lives like an hour away. We got to pass by there and make sure she's okay and all that stuff. And I'm gonna be spending over there. So
your support could be healing for her. Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna be there for. Get that out the way. So everyone have a great day, a good afternoon, and a good night. And I'll catch you out tomorrow.
Ciao,
Yeah,
have a beautiful night yourself, my friend.
Yeah, we'll talk tomorrow. All right. Good night, everyone.